All right, Joe the Fan here from Just Win Bets, baby. Here with my man Shano Mack. Shano, we saw the NBA draft just happened. Is it rigged or what?
Dude, it's so rigged. I mean, how else do you explain that? Luka gets traded away to the Lakers, and then they automatically get the first overall. Is
that how it works? You got to trade your best player, and then you just get reimbursed with. Wow,
crazy because it's happened multiple times too. Like you got to think like you go back to like when LeBron left Cleveland. The next year they got
Wiggins.
No, not Wiggins. They got Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie.
Yeah, remember, he had a decision. He went to Miami. He went to Miami. Very next year, they won the draft lottery. Got Kyrie Irving, and then he came back, and then they finally brought the championship to Cleveland. Most people thought like he left on purpose so they get the first round pick, and then they have stacked the team for when he comes back from Miami. Same thing happened with the Spurs when Kawhi Leonard left. They got the first overall pick. It's crazy. It's like how and then what makes it worse is that they do it all behind closed doors. Like why not at least if you do it that way, that's fine. Well, why not release the video of you doing it afterwards or something? It just adds the conspiracy like fuel to the fire.
Yeah, but whatever happened to the lottery machine, just like the Virginia lottery that we have here, where they show the machine and then the balls come out, blah, blah, blah. They don't show that anymore.
No, not at all. They need to. I mean, they could always go back to the old David Stern, the original one with the envelope and the big thing. At least that was like out in the open and you could see it. This one's like closed doors. You have to have like a secret handshake to get in.
Right. Back in the day, they had like the bingo machine.
Yeah.
C14, whatever it is. B11. My Lord. So me, I can't call him the wash-in name because I'm old school. So the Bullets got screwed again. That's what we're saying.
Oh, they got screwed. I mean, they had 18 wins this past season, and by far probably the worst team in the league.
Okay, so what's the point of even having the lottery then? I mean, what's the point? Look, we suck. I'll admit that. Okay, but what's the point?
Yeah, And what's crazy is that the teams that had the three best teams, so the three teams that had the best odds of getting the first pick, all finished outside the top three. So it was the Wizards, the Jazz, and who was the other one? The fourth seed, the Hornets. So it was Wizards, Jazz, Hornets. They all had 14% chance odds to get the first pick. All of them finished out of the top three. How does that happen?
And then the Hornets landed fourth.
Yeah. They landed fourth, the Jazz landed fifth, and the Wizards landed sixth.
I saw it live, and then as soon as I saw, something happened to like Portland or whatever. Oh, hey, the Dallas Mavericks moves. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then the San Francisco moved up from like 20 spots.
I was watching the Caps game live, so then I had that up on my phone, like on a live feed. And I was getting updates. I was like, oh my God, we're getting screwed. And then it said Wizards 6th pick. I was like, oh, instant anger. And then the Caps lost, which made it even worse.
All right. So speaking of the Caps that you just brought up, your team that you love and you follow immensely here, but 3-1 now.
Series is over.
Yeah,
it's over. This was a must-win game for them. This was. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I said, like, whoever wins this game will probably win the series. That's going to carry the momentum. Because if the Caps pulled it out today, they still have 2 games at home. But beating that Carolina team 3 games in a row, that's not going to happen. There's no way.
But I don't see Carolina going after this because in their history, they don't go past the second round.
No.
So they'll make it here. And I predicted, as you know, Carolina 4-2, even though I love the Caps as well. But business is business, as you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the way they played today, I would be surprised if they win it, but you never know. Home crowd, teams usually play a little bit better at home. They could sneak out game 5, but it's definitely going to be over by game 6. It's not going to go to game 7. That's just not going to happen.
So are you putting your 4-1?
They're going to play either the Panthers or the Leafs next round, which is they're still going on. They're tied 2 apiece, right?
Yes. So are you putting your 401k on the Caps in game 5?
No, not after how they played today. No way.
I'm just saying.
No way. I'm avoiding that altogether. I told you to play the Caps puck line today 1.5. I was like, this is a must win for them. I thought they would at least keep it close, and they brought it within one goal 2 times in the third period, and then each time Carolina would just go right back down and score again. I'm like, oh my god. And Thompson for the Caps, I mean, he's been a shutout goalie the whole playoffs. So then now he's just starting to crumble. I don't know if he's not getting that defensive support in front of him like he was, or he just the overbearing shots of Carolina. Carolina just loves throwing pucks on the net, and it's just one shot after another, and eventually they get through.
So what was their total shot on goal? Like 20 from the Caps?
Today, I think the last I saw they were at like 21.
Okay,
let's see. I got up my phone here right now. What do they got? 21. So they had 21 shots on goal. Carolina had 37.
Right.
So that's a big discrepancy there. It's hard to win when you're getting outshot like that.
Right.
And then the shot attempts have been like
for us.
Yeah, the shot attempts have been even crazier. Like I remember game 1, Carolina had 95 shots on goal, or not shots on goal, 95 shot attempts. And the Caps are averaging like over 40 shot blocks per game. And then that's just their style of play, though. It's just they're relentless on offense, and they're just going to keep attacking. And then usually that puck bounces in for them eventually, which happens in hockey. That puck acts some weird ways sometimes.
Right. So a lot's happening this week, which will come back later for you folks. We will talk about the NFL schedule, which is going to be released on Thursday. So we'll talk about the Washington team. Again, I can't call them the C word. Sorry. I just, I'll just call them Skins for short. How about that? Okay.
I usually the Skins or a football team. I can't.
Exactly. I can't. I mean, it's exciting news here around Washington when we're getting a new stadium finally, where we're coming in, everything is coming back to RFK, which that needs to be blown up. That should have been blown up 50 years ago, but
I went to a DC United game there. So how long Audi Field's been around for? How long now?
What, 10 years, give or take?
10 years? Maybe not even 10 years.
Right.
So it was like their last year there. Oh my God, that thing is falling apart like crazy. Like it was like seats just literally missing armrests that have just been gone or stolen or broken off. It was like that place needs to be tearing down so bad. And then it's such an eyesore when you drive through the city and see it.
Right. I went to remember when the Nats came back.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the Montreal Expos. Okay, so they were, as you know, they were the Senators back in the day, before my time. And then they left, and then they came back, and they were before they came I call them the Nationals. You remember when they had the mistake on the jersey, Nationals? If anybody has one of those, I'll pay top dollar for that. That is like whoever that guy had to have been fired. Whoever Nationals. That's like that commercial with the Kansas City with the Chiefs, where who are the chef? Anyway, so we'll hop back on here, folks, with the NFL schedule, and we'll break down, of course, the NFC East first, and we'll go through all the NFC and the AFC. So stick around, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button or like button as well. And Shannon O'Mac and I will be back on here soon with more of our NHL picks. And I did pretty well on MLS.
Yeah, you did really good.
Yeah.
You've been crushing in soccer lately.
Yeah. Well, not this past Saturday in English Premier. I don't know what happened. Everybody's at the beach or something. I don't know. But then I had to change some algorithm stuff. But then I looked at the algorithms for draws for MLS and it actually worked. So see what happened. And that's going to be a midweek for that. And I know our guys are working on a new promo video for us. And then, of course, the video, we're going to try to get the daily bets out to everybody, through YouTube with the NHL, of course, soccer. When it comes to the NFL football, which we signed another handicapper who's going to be handling the Big Ten. I know you're handling what? You're handling ACC?
Yeah, ACC.
Okay. ACC and SEC.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're handling ACC, SEC. Our new guy, the wise man, Brett, will be taking care of the Big Ten, everything Big Ten. He went to Michigan State, so he should know a little bit about Big Ten. Wisconsin, and our main guy Billy Edwards now over there that we know very well. So I might have to call him up and give him some tips. No, I'm just kidding, Billy. But we'll cover that as well as the WNBA. We have another handicapper as well joining us for that. And don't forget, towards the end of the month is tennis. Our main man, PJ, will be talking a little bit about tennis, about his picks, and we'll, of course, share that with you all through our social media on X mainly, and we'll try to get better on the Instagram and, of course, TikTok. But we've got the underscores with that. I don't understand. They got to fix that. But every time I try to do this, hey, you got 30 days. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like I don't know.
Everything's weird. That's like when I was making our YouTube channel, it was like Google was like, you have to have this account for X amount of days, and I was like, what is going on? Just let us post stuff. let us go.
I know. The fans want it. What are we doing here? They want a urine sample. They want a rectal scan. I'm like, what are we doing here? Now we got to get a star like on our license. Can't even go anywhere. Can't even fly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we saw there was as you can see here in the studio, so you can see where the hockey game, the Vegas, I should say, Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers, where they had a fight. And that was my main question. Maybe Bet Rivers or any of the other sportsbook listening. Why don't they put fights on, an over and under if there's a fight? Now, if you want to make a lot of money, how about you do fight with a particular player? That would cash. Because I can guarantee you, Obi's not going to be on there.
Oh, no. None of your goal scorers will be. It'll be your you have to keep track of all the goons on there for sure.
Right. So the Tom Wilsons of yeah.
But I don't know why there's not even just like a straight there's there's a bet for will this game go to overtime, yes or no. It's as simple as that. Add one in there for will there be a fight, yes or no.
And there I did see overtime. Will this game in overtime? In the NHL stuff like that. I've seen those bets, but I have not seen ever a bet on fighting.
No,
I mean it's part of the game.
Yeah.
So.
It's part of the game, and it's not going away. The players, have, because the NHL thought about getting rid of it not too long ago, and the players union fought to keep it, and the referee union fought to keep it too, because they said the players control themselves a lot more better. It kind of prevent, even though it looks like chaos, they're preventing it from getting more out of hand. Right? It's because the players take things in their own hands and stuff like that. Instead of having crazy cheap shots and stuff like that later in the game, you just send your two guys out there that want to fight each other, and then they settle it on the ice, and then it's over. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even we saw this earlier in the Vegas Edmonton match this evening, where right off the bat, 5 minutes into the match, they're fighting. But I think with the sports book, what they should do is just have not the time of when it takes place. I mean, holy cow. That's going to be very hard to predict, but have the participants and how do they go down? Like now you're covering UFC, the pay-per-views. So how do they go down? Are they going down as this, as a knockdown or knockout, or does the ref, step in to kind of I don't know. It's just I'm spitballing here, but I mean, I think
look behind you now. Look behind you.
Exactly. Okay, there you go.
They're shoving down right now, and my TV's a little ahead of you, so I can't.
Over and under how many fights in the series? If you want to do it like that,
yeah.
So Bet Rivers, if you're listening, yeah, I'll take 5%. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, they're following us on X now, on Twitter. So
I know.
So hopefully they hear it and they can start posting it.
Exactly. At least give us some credit, okay? Tell it's bad enough. And I'll say this about soccer: they do this over in the UK. And they do it overseas, and I think on the offshore bets, books, where they do cards. So in soccer, they have cards where it's like yellow card, red card. They don't offer that here.
No,
I just don't understand it. I mean, if you have two teams that are just totally hate each other, and I know it happens not only in the NHL, you see it in soccer, you see it in the NFL. I mean, the list goes on and on. Basketball,
yeah,
it's not like we're asking for a Detroit Pistons, someone going into the stands kind of thing, but okay.
That's hard to do in the NHL. You got glass around you everywhere.
Right. They got to go through the net.
You gotta shove someone through the glass. Oh, that would be entertaining too, though. That'd be sweet.
You know what?
Glass shatter. And then
You know what they should also do? Like, if you're going to promote this NHL, like on Max or whatever, just make it the R-rated version.
Yes.
Where they're using profanity. Now, obviously, we can't say those words here, but I'm just saying, have it set so if two guys are in the penalty box, one of the opposing team, they can have like a little thing and they're like a little microphone like built in, and, you know, and they're cussing each other out. That would be, hey, you know, entertaining.
Yeah,
you have like a little caption window on the bottom.
Yeah.
While you're watching the game. I'm just saying.
Yeah, everything's mic'd up down there, so they have the audio. They have to. So they have to have that. Just go ahead and post it. And like you said, have it like as a TVMA or whatever. Listen, post it all so we can hear it.
right. Now you
that would be awesome.
Don't want any kids around there. Yeah, I don't want my son here. You know, blah blah blah. But here's the other thing. And before we go, I got to know whatever happened to the light on the puck. I thought that was interesting.
So I think that was Fox that did that originally.
Yeah.
When the NHL was on Fox, and it was to try and like draw your casual fans in, because like the people were complaining, especially because back then when they had it, HD televisions weren't as prevalent as they are now, and then so like it would stick out on TV much better where the puck was, and then a lot of your like hardcore hockey fans didn't like it. They found it distracting, so they got rid of it.
Lord. Lord. I'm just saying.
It is. I like it, especially like if you don't watch the game a lot, it does help you follow it along. Because like once you like watch a bunch of hockey games, you kind of understand the flow and like how things are passed and stuff like that. So it's easier to follow. But it's like when you first start watching it, it is like hard to see and confusing at times. I agree, and it helps. And then like I could see it coming back. Maybe like not like every game, but like back like on maybe like Stanley Cup Finals games,
right.
kind of like on an alt cast, kind of like how like Amazon for Thursday night football games, they have like the AWS game that has like the extra stats and like highlights players, and then like have you seen that? And it says like this linebacker is like they show him like lining up and it's like he has a 64% chance of blitzing on this play. I could see that being more and more involved in more sports, not just the NFL.
No, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, you look at a organization right now that's utilizing a lot of the technology, which is UFL, to where, you know, I guess the NFL is adapting not only the kickoff, which personally, can we just go back to what it was? Okay. I'm just saying. Anyway, but I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue with the little, I guess, chip that's in the ball, in the football. And they're like, okay, here's the first down. I mean, I'll miss the ref with the little card.
The index card.
Down or not. Yeah,
when
exactly. But exactly. So, okay, I get that. But also from the UFL, since we brought that out, UFL, excuse me, that we brought it up, but the fourth down. So the onside kick, get rid of that garbage in the NFL. No one's doing it. But, I mean, that's the other thing that really doesn't make any sense. You got to let the team know, hey, by the way, we're onside kicking it. I mean, if you look at the Super Bowl back in the day with the Saints, no one called that. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, but in the UFL,
I miss it too. I mean, me and you both were former coaches here. So, like, I used to, that's one of my favorite things is just like randomly we need to pick up, we score, and then I just do an surprise onside kick. Boom. I love it. That's like, and then that's gone from the game, which sucks.
Yeah.
But, and then the other thing that hurts onside kicks too is not just telling them, but in the NFL, they can only line up a yard from the ball. So the team can't get a running start. So it's harder to get to that 10 yards before the other team gets it. So it's like, it's pretty much impossible to get it nowadays. It's
no, right. So in the UFL, they do, of course, I think it's that 4th and 15. I like that. Just incorporate that. So, all right, folks, we're going to sign off here. But again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button or like button. We'll be back here later this week, and we'll have some graphics to show you in regards to the NFL schedule. We'll cover not only the NFC, of course, the AFC, and we'll definitely show you some future picks and what we'll see as in who will win that division. We'll have those odds up for you. And as the studios are now making the odds page as we speak. So we'll get that on here and we'll display that. But finally, if you can just hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, the more subscribers, the better. We can definitely introduce you to more of our free content. But stick around and don't forget, just win bets, baby.